2020, a breakthrough year for me in writing. So there were three ways. So I created a Yelp account in 2007, if I'm recalling correctly. It was 2007. And then in 2020, I was like, I'm going to hit the ground running. And so I did, and I published, if I'm recalling correctly, over 300 reviews, a few thousand pictures, and I earned number 29 on the top 50 most prolific elites North America, most prolific Yelpers in North America. And so that was a really big deal. I had started in December 2019 writing and publishing on Amazon reviews, and I carried that forward into 2020. And I started off I finally got my initial ranking. So Amazon reviews all of the people who write reviews. And I know that because my debut ranking number was 66,138,064. And then I improved over 66 million placings, largely because of the writing in 2020 I did on Amazon. So that's why so I started off at 66,138,064 in 2019. And then in 2021, my profile ranking, my profile had risen in rankings to number 7,432. So that's over 66 million placings of increasing. And that came largely from my writing in 2020. So that's why I'm categorizing it as a 2020 breakthrough. What happened was I moved here from California in October to November 2019. And then in early December 2019, I started writing and publishing on Amazon reviews. And then January 2020, I started writing and publishing on Wikipedia. And then it was around March or April 2020, I started writing and publishing on Yelp. And then I had a breakthrough on Yelp, and that was just, I got stimulus checks because of or at least one, I think it was 2 that year. And then it was 1 the following year. Yes, different presidencies, different number of stimulus checks. And so 2020, I used my stimulus checks and I did a bunch of driving and adventuring, and I wrote and published that. I also, about that kind of stuff as I was doing it and right after doing it. And I wrote about a bunch of products I had already bought and continued to buy on Amazon. And I took to journaling. So in addition to that kind of writing, and that was the stuff I published, I did writing that I did not publish, and I wrote over 500,000 words that year. So it was a breakthrough. I was like, all right, I'm going to hit the ground running and just go after writing. And I did. And so it was kind of a breakthrough year, or was a breakthrough year. Kind of a double debut because I rose to prominence. Was high enough in rankings by 2021 on Amazon reviews. You can actually click on the number kind of thing. Whereas when I was 66 million something, it was just a number. There wasn't a link to go look at the top reviewers on Amazon. So yeah, I use my real name for Amazon reviews. So I don't know if you've seen me or not. That's one where I've gotten like 0 feedback, as it's kind of like an online thing, but doesn't come back around in my life in person. It has not, at least to date. And so just putting writing out there. And so I also wrote and kept some of that back, so that was 500,000. But it was kind of I call it a double debut year because I debuted on 2 platforms, Yelp and Amazon, and my writing brought prominence enough to rise in the rankings, kind of thing. In the case of Yelp, appear in the rankings for top 50 in North America. So that was 2020. And this year, I'm trying to pull off a double debut after crashing on both platforms last year. So the double debut I am going for this year is Wikipedia and YouTube. So on Wikipedia, there's approximately 1 million active editors each year. Or it's like, and I think it's like sustained editing, but I'm not certain about that. And then of that million, there's 7 to 8 on it. In recent years anyway. I don't know what the number is for this year because the year is not over and the metrics have not come in for that determination. As I'm going for a debut breakthrough, so like my breakthrough on both Wikipedia and YouTube. And so on Wikipedia, the breakthrough is 100 or more edits each month for 1 calendar year. So for January to December of 1 year, an editor has to make 100 or more edits each month to for the entire year to be counted on. I think there's some tracking that comes with that. It's a metric that is kind of used to assess, like, the way I've heard it talked about socially. This is a topic that's come up in my life around 2014, plus or minus 2 years. That was really talked about socially in my kind of social groups. It's like a community service it's the difference between somebody coming and editing because they want to edit about this one person's or edit on this one big star's Wikipedia page, you know, when they're competing at championships, which might be every few months, versus, all right, I want to do that, but I also want to contribute to Wikipedia in ways that I might not have. This is pushing myself to do kind of a community service. And it's actually quite fun. So thus far, January through November, today is Tuesday, November 22 November 2022. And as of today, I have 400 or more edits every month this year so far. So I just need 100 or more next month, December, to have my breakthrough. And assuming that they don't change the metrics this year. So assuming that the number stays 100 or more. I have gone after 400 or more edits each month this year in the case of, well, let's say the metrics did change. So I've kind of kept that on a back burner. Is what if they were increased? Well, then maybe I should go for more edits. So that's kind of what I've done. And then, so that's Wikipedia. The other one is YouTube. So YouTube this was talked about socially in 2012 in kind of my social group. So I don't actually know if these breakthrough kind of metrics are still used. It was, at the time, if I am recalling correctly, it was 10 or more published public videos each month for 1 calendar year. So January to December 2022, 10 or more videos on one channel published publicly every month for the whole year. So that'd be 120 or more videos. It might be higher than that. I have posted more than 10, published publicly, more than 10 videos every month this year. That's one that is, when I first encountered those metrics, I don't know, it was like a decade ago, literally. So I don't know if they're still applicable. They might have changed. But the structure, at least as I encountered it socially, it was similar to Wikipedia in that it's not like, so I've been writing and publishing a lot about swimming, and there's championships, and championships, you know, might be June through August or September, and then something else in December. This is not that. This is Wikipedia, and YouTube's like, nope, you gotta be here. Come on. You want to be part of us. You want to be counted as one of our special breakthroughs, or like breakthrough or tracked people. Got to be present and got to be contributing. And so in that sense, both Wikipedia and YouTube, at least socially in my social spheres, have kind of gotten dubbed like to break through requires a certain amount of community service, like being present and an active community member on Wikipedia and YouTube. And so it's a bit different than Yelp and Amazon, because Yelp and Amazon, I can publish a bunch of reviews in 1 month and then kind of relax the other months, and it still counts. Like I published my first review in 2020 in like March or April. So I took a couple months off and I was still on the top 50 list. I can't do that on Wikipedia. Speaking from experience, 2021, I didn't have any edits for a few months and it didn't count. So Wikipedia and YouTube in that sense are a little bit more like, be here. If you want to count, if you want to be counted, right? Not it still counts that I'm here, but if you want to be counted by us, be here. Right, so I'm trying to be here this year. Is there anything that could stop me? Yes. So for Wikipedia, I could get blocked. So if I got blocked, I can't edit. So, and it's not December yet, so I don't have my edits yet. So that means I would not make it. So that's one for Wikipedia. How on YouTube, my channel could get deleted. Get enough community guideline strikes of the fatal kind, or just get hacked, right? And the channel gets deleted and there it goes, right? There are two ways, very clear ways that I could get stopped on each. So trying not to piss people off, being as boring as possible, keeping everything really toned down. And if I'm like, if this might be a triggering word, to find a boring word. That I've done that a lot. It's just, which is like good business sense to begin with, unless one's going for the there are entire industries that focus around like rivals and making people as heated as possible. I've chosen the business model of being boring, which is just like, I want to debut. So this is my attempted year. 2020 was a breakthrough year writing, just writing in general, so 500,000 words. Over 500,000 words, and then writing on Yelp and Amazon reviews. And this year I'm going for more writing, so Wikipedia, while also videoing YouTube. So that is this video.